Welcome, my friends. Welcome back. Welcome back to Touching the Edge. My name is Drake, and this is the 40-day commitment to having more of a yes for your life, more of a yes for exactly the challenges and circumstances that you have in your life. And today, I want to touch base day 38 of our 40-day program about saying yes in the midst of the challenge of illness. You know, illness is part of human life. It's part of something that we all deal with eventually. We all deal with some level of illness, particularly if you have a history of trauma. The history of trauma creates levels of a relationship with inflammation that affects you on every level. Inflammation is one of the biggest issues that we deal with. The inflammation of chronic pain, the inflammation of autoimmune issues, the inflammation of emotional and mental health issues. We're all dealing with those to some degree. It's not always evident. You know, when you're talking to someone who has chronic pain issues, you may not be aware that they're dealing with chronic pain issues or autoimmune issues. Many people don't understand that those are big challenges for me, both chronic pain and autoimmune issues. And they create such a challenge that it makes every time I do a recording a challenge for me. It also creates the challenge of social anxieties that have been a traditional issue of mine. But I'm telling you, I'm so determined to touch the edge of my challenge because I'm determined to share my vulnerabilities, because to share your vulnerability is also to share your strength. I mean, don't get me wrong, sharing, which is really giving, is only giving if you're doing it from the right mindset. If I give you a gift to manipulate you, it's not really a gift. However, when you share your vulnerabilities, not to get attention, but to give support, that's a whole different deal. The leaves, are so interesting to me. Here in Minnesota, the leaves have fallen off, but we see leaves that are on the trees all the way from the beginning of spring all the way through the winter. Some of those leaves are there the entire time. And so what I want to suggest to you is that the leaves don't let go, excuse me, until it's time. Touch your edge, but don't imagine you're past your edge unless you're there. But if you are at your edge, honor it. Respect it. If you have flare-ups, don't try to always be forcing yourself. Hey, we all have obligations, but do what is necessary, but don't always try to force yourself to do something more than what is necessary. Honor your limitations, but don't forget your North Star. I love this idea of alchemy, of transforming one thing to another. And I want to suggest to you that you can transform illness into opportunity. Because in the end, what's going on with illness or whatever the chronic issue that we're dealing with, the major issue is our relationship to our emotions. So if we allow the challenge that we're facing, which keeps bringing up this chronic pain of really challenging emotions, when we get to the point that those emotions are not in charge of us, we have stepped into self-mastery. This is the opportunity of all the stuff that we're dealing with. It's your opportunity to become your best self. Don't force yourself. Don't become a cruel taskmaster. Change with kindness. But don't forget what your actual goal is. Complete transformation. You can do this. But you have to be willing to accept what your challenge is and understand that part of what you can do to transform that challenge is to share your vulnerability. So it's okay. It's okay to be where you are because you are exactly where you need to be. So thank you so much for joining me on this 38th day of this 40-day practice. Regardless of what you're dealing with today, remember, you are on a mission to live in joy. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. All we have to do is recognize that it's all a matter of scale. If you're feeling fear, then watch the fear. And watch the fear of being afraid. And keep watching, keep stepping back until you can find that place of stillness and peace. I bring my hands into prayer position and I bow to you because I know that life is here for us and not against us. Namaste. Thank you.